Hello folks and welcome to today's vlog. After all of the excitement and travelling and late nightness of yesterday, today is very much going to be a recovery day. Don't expect to see a lot of Andy today. He's recentering himself after a day full of social interaction and excitement. If you want to see some of Andy and you haven't seen yesterday's vlog, it's up there. We went to Nottingham. It was ace. But for me, the next 5 days or so get a little bit weird from here, because as I've said a couple of times before, for the first 3 days of this week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Andy and the girls are off school because it's half term, but Anna is still at uni. So I'm, rather than working all day the way I traditionally would, I'm in proper carer mode. So I'm not going to be able to do any work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I worked really hard towards the end of last week to stack up some videos. I've not quite got enough, but I'm still streaming Sunday and Monday night, and I need to do 2 more videos. So my plan is to go out for my streams 45 minutes earlier than I normally would, make the videos, then go straight into the stream. We should be fine for videos. But there is another project still going on, and that is project sort out the garage slash studio slash office. What I want, the real long-term goal for this, and when I say long-term I'm thinking like 10 days, is I want people who are new to the channel to look at me sat at my desk out in what is currently very clearly a garage and not realise it's a garage unless I tell them. I showed you the other day the plan for how the room is going to be laid out. I've now ordered the desk and the bookcases from Ikea. They're going to be here on Friday. So before Friday, I need at the very least to have created space to put those flat packs, which there isn't at the moment. But the plan is to clear out all the junk that's in there, get that carpet laid down, and pretty much get to the point where I'm ready to turn the room around and add the new kit in. It's a little bit tricky picking the times when I can do that, because I'm still going to be streaming Thursday night and I'm going to be spending a lot of Thursday and Friday catching up on the work I didn't do earlier in the week. So it could all go desperately wrong. I hope it doesn't. Job now is I'm at the factory shop. I'm going to try and buy some of the last few bits I need to make that job a little bit easier, including a bin, which can't believe no one suggested that to me before. Right, Operation tidy up my mess starts now, I guess. I have bought something though, hold on. I forget what the lady in the shop called it, but apparently it's for putting rubbish in. How many mugs is too many mugs? Remind me in about a week the cable trunking that I bought and I've just put on there. Oh, it's fallen down the back of that other table. Cable management. What I was just doing was hanging my drone up there. It'll probably fall down. And then I tripped over this wire. Right, proof that nothing good comes from cleaning up. In amongst knocking down everything, I've ripped my Rusev Day calendar, so it doesn't go on the hook anymore. Rusev Day is ruined. Well, it's by no means finished, not even close, but my desk is clear-ish. Wheel off the chair. The floor around my desk is fairly clear, ready to be repaired. Still need to clear around there, haven't even touched that area, haven't even really touched this area. I've moved some of the stuff off there that's going to go back in the house when the stuff that's in the cupboard in the house comes out here. Haven't even made a start on this end, mainly because most of that's going to be going to the tip, and I can't go to the tip today because it's already too late in the day. Plus I've hung bags on the walls to get them up off the floor. That'll do for today, because I also have to start planning meals for this new health kick we're going to be on. Getting ready for my stream tonight in the interests of continuing to make this whole workspace much more workable. I've bought some screen cleaner. These screens that I've got out here, since I've had them, and I bought these, I bought these before I left work. This was part of the purchases that we were doing around about probably Easter time last year, when we bought this camera that I'm talking to you on now. I got my laptop, got the drone, got the GoPro. It was when we were basically kitting ourselves out with what I felt like I needed to be able to make a go of this as an actual sort of viable business. I'm getting that all in my coffee. But in that time, never actually cleaned the monitors before. So, who knows? Perhaps that's what's been holding me back on Football Manager. And now they've had a nice clean, I might suddenly get good at the game. It's not likely, but goodness me, these monitors are colour. Who knew there were colour monitors? A couple of things we're going to sort out. Firstly, we need to put the cleaning stuff somewhere. The healthy eating thing, I know there's going to be comments about this, so that came off the thing. Let me clarify for you. What we're doing isn't a diet. We're not restricting calories. We're not going to be counting calories. I know we're both fat. We know we're fat. But, you know, I'm 35. I've tried to lose weight for the last 20 years. Counting calories doesn't work for me. Well, it would if I stuck to it, but I don't have the willpower. Weight Watchers, stuff like that doesn't work for me. I know I'm supposed to eat exercise more than I eat, burn more calories than I take in. I've read so many books about it. You know how obsessively I research topics, and I am probably the most knowledgeable fat man in the world about nutrition and health. I have a very, very good understanding of what I should be eating, what I should be doing with my body, and if I could only put it into practice, I would be super fit. I'd be running marathons, but I can't because I don't have any willpower, and I'm giving up on the willpower battle. I'm not giving up on being healthy, but I've said for probably the last 6 months or so, when we've been talking about health, and don't worry, we're still not going to be a weight loss vlog, but for the last 6 months or so, I've been talking about is there a rule or a couple of simple rules that I can apply to everyday living that isn't something I'm going to have to track every day, but it's just something really simple that I can just say, well, I don't do that anymore. Like when people give up smoking, like when people give up drinking, like when people give up sugar or whatever else it might be. What are the big things that I can do to make substantial health changes? And that's where I stumbled across this 100 days of real food thing. And we're not throwing ourselves into it fully just yet. We're going to do their 10-day initial pledge with their 2 most important rules. So starting on Wednesday, because it's pancake day on Tuesday, we've got to have our pancakes. You know, I explained, we're fat people, we like pancakes. But starting Wednesday, for 10 days, we're going to follow 2 very simple rules. We're not going to make any other changes to our diets, just 2 rules. Rule number 1 is every single meal is going to have at least 2 pieces of fruit or vegetable in it, which not much of a challenge for Anna. Most of her meals, she likes fruit, she eats a lot of fruit anyway. I don't really like fruit and vegetables. I could easily get through to dinner time in the evening without touching any fruit or veg on a normal day. A normal day for me, cereal or toast for breakfast, sometimes both, and then a sandwich, bag of crisps for lunch, maybe a yogurt. It's not the most unhealthy diet in the world. It's also not the most healthy diet in the world, obviously. That's why I'm fat. Then I'll get my veg in the evening. I'm a grown-up, I'll have veg for my evening meal. And most of our meals are cooked from scratch anyway. But I'm going to make an effort to have 2 pieces of fruit with breakfast, 2 pieces of fruit with lunch, and make sure there's always at least 2 different veg with dinner. Sometimes we'll just have one, like we'll just have peas, we'll just have broccoli. We're going to have 2 different veg with dinner every night, just to increase the veg content. And then rule number 2 is that we're going to eliminate refined carbohydrates. According to the rules of that book, I know it's not possible to completely eliminate all refined grain stuff, but the basic gist of the idea is we're not going to be having stuff with added sugar, we're not going to be having loads of processed stuff out of boxes, like out of packets, we're not going to be eating Twixes, and we're going to switch from white bread, white pasta, white flour, white rice to the whole grain equivalents. I'm going to be making my own bread because they have this 5 ingredient rule in the book, where if something's got more than 5 ingredients in, I'm doing a lot of numbers with my hands for this little bit, but if there's more than 5 ingredients in a food, then it's too processed, you shouldn't have it. And I stood there in Tesco looking at the ingredients, and even what you would think would be healthy wholemeal bread has got like 12 ingredients in, and they're mostly preservatives and additives and chemicals and things like that. So I'm just going to be making my own bread as per a recipe out of that book, and we're just going to switch from normal pasta to wholemeal pasta. We're going to switch from normal rice to brown rice and cut out the stuff in packets and just go full on real food, home cooked food, and see how we get on. Just for 10 days. We're committing to it for 10 days. So we're doing both hands on these numbers now. A 10-day commitment. We'll see how we get on. I don't know how much I weigh at the moment. Our scales don't work. I'm not that interested. What I want to know is that I feel better at the end of the 10 days. And if I do, we'll review from there and see what we're going to do going forward. So it's certainly not intended to be a crash diet. I don't actually know if it will lead to me losing any weight at all, because it might be that I'm just eating different things but still eating too much of it, and we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I think those two simple changes should be healthy, good changes to make. Lastly then, to finish things off for today, I've loaded back up the Instagram post from earlier in the week where we asked for Q&A questions, because there's been nearly 50 comments on that now, all of which are people asking questions, and we didn't get through hardly any of them the other day. So I think for the next few days we'll just maybe do 2 or 3, pick out the ones that are interesting, and try and do sort of 2 or 3 a day if we can fit them in, especially for the next few days when I'm going to be spending a lot of my time in the house looking after Andy. I'm not going to be out and about. Like I keep saying, I'm putting a lot more effort into the vlog at the moment. Hopefully it's showing through, but I'm not going to be out there shooting B-roll for the next couple of days because I'm going to be in the house. So some Q&A questions are going to come in handy. So let's see where we got to. Starbucks or Costa? Always Starbucks. How did I get into Football Manager? I've played football management games since the late 80s. It was one of the first games I ever played was Kenny Dalglish Soccer Manager on the Spectrum. Loved it. I've loved football management games ever since. What YouTuber would I love to collaborate with? I don't know, probably some of the ones that I do know. I'd love to do something with the Cultaholic guys or the Wrestle Talk guys, just to talk about wrestling. That would be really cool. What's my favourite supermarket? Do people have a favourite supermarket? We tend to shop at Tesco, but that's because it's in our town. If it was Asda or Sainsbury's in our town, we'd probably shop there. I don't really have a preference. What was my first car? The first car I drove was my mum's Nissan Micra. The first car I owned was a Vauxhall Corsa that I bought off the bank I worked for at the time for about £2,000, and then managed to run it into the wall outside Pizza Hut about 3 days later. And because I was a kid, I tried to paint over it myself in red paint that was the wrong colour because I'm red-green colour blind. It was a complete mess. It remained a mess for the next 2 or 3 years that I owned that car, and then I moved into the wonderful world of company cars after that for about the next 10 years, maybe not quite that long, and then didn't buy another car again until the what was it? What was my old car? Skoda Octavia. No, I had a Ford Mondeo before that, and then my Skoda Octavia that you saw on the vlog about this time last year. And I think the current car is only the 4th car I ever owned. Would we do a best game ever competition on the podcast again? Probably not, purely because for us as hosts of the podcast, we haven't played that many games since we did it last time 5 years ago. So our views on what the best game ever is still going to be the same. I'm not going to move too far away from the likes of Portal 2, Bioshock, Skyrim. I can't think of anything in the last 5 years that, I mean, I could probably count on one hand the games that I've played in the last 5 years. I just don't have time for it anymore. What's my favourite gaming console? Depends which one the game I want to play is on. I have a preference for the Xbox controller, but I've spent far more time on the PS4 than the Xbox One in the last 6 months because Persona 4? Is it Persona 4 or Persona 5? What's the current Persona game? See, that's how out of touch I am. Persona 4, I think. Persona 4 is on the PS4, so I play the PS4 more. Lastly, do I like Nirvana? I like the 3 songs that people who've never heard a Nirvana album know. And we'll leave things there today. We'll carry on with the Q&A over the next few days. If you do want to get questions in there, you need to go onto my Instagram. I'm Lollujo on Instagram. Find the post from a few days ago. Stick a question in the comments to that, and I'll try and include them. Like I say, probably for the next 2 or 3 days, we'll have a few questions towards the end of each vlog, just to burn through some of these Q&A things. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's vlog. I know it's been a little bit different. I did warn you at the start that it was going to be a Kev vlog. We weren't really going to be doing anything. Whenever Andy has a big day like the one he had yesterday, he needs a day to just completely shut off from the world, chill out and recover from it. As much as he enjoyed yesterday, it was still a massive stress on him having to go out into the world. We left the house at lunchtime and didn't get back until gone 10 o'clock. So he's had like 10 hours out of his comfort zone, out of the house. And although they're things he was enjoying, they're things he wouldn't normally do, things with lots of people around. And someone said in the comments to yesterday's video, it's strange how he doesn't seem to have a problem with loud noises. He doesn't mind the noise of the trams, the noise of the level crossing, sirens, that kind of thing. He hates the noises. He tolerates the noises because they're things he really loves. If it was the loud noise of a tram without any context, he would hate it. So he, even all the while he's enjoying a day like he did yesterday, he's having this internal battle with himself where he's hating the sensory overload that he's under, but fighting through it because he loves what he's doing. And that's why he needs a day to recover. But Andy will definitely be back on the vlog tomorrow, because I'm going to be spending all day with him. If you have enjoyed today's vlog, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily vlogs. I almost said Football Manager videos. That's the other channel. Thank you very much for watching.